have quite a few channeled messages for you here. So the first thing that's starting out for your energy for this session, Leo, is a song, and it's called Living My Best Life by Jessie J. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you check that song out because it's giving the overall energy of what it is what's flowing through your energy right now, Leo, okay? And it's Living My Best Life by Jessie J. And she's talking about how she's no more tears. I'm not wasting time being sad tonight. After all these years, I'm finally living my best life. So that's what I feel like is going on for you right now. I feel like there's a sense of personal liberation that's coming online for you. Let's keep in mind that as of right now, start from November 30th on, Leo, we have Saturn direct, and we also have Mercury now direct, okay? So a lot of ways that you may have felt like you were either being tested or you were being held back, maybe even held back in like a slingshot type of energy, those restrictions are loosening up. Those tests have come to an end, okay? I really do feel like you're coming out on top. I feel like you may have gone through a pretty strong time period of struggle up until, Mercury has gone direct and now Saturn has gone direct, okay? So I feel like a lot of weight is being lifted off of your shoulders, but a lot of personal liberation is coming through for you, and I'll explain why in a moment. Now, next thing I have written down here for you is Dragonfly Spirit. Okay, so that is speaking to a level of transformation, and dragonflies for me represent transformation on more of a mental level. I see dragonflies as more of a masculine energy, and so with masculine energy, immediately I think intellect and thought and planning and structure, stuff like that. And with dragonfly also, they go through a pretty extreme transformation process similar to butterflies, but dragonfly for me is more on a masculine side, but still has that transformative element to it for me. So I'm definitely getting the transformative energies for you here in this energy for you, Leo. But also for some of you, this dragonfly spirit does represent ancestors. It could also represent some sort of ancestral karma. So what you're experiencing right now is the release and or the relief, I'm hearing, Leo, of some ancestral karma or ancestral karmic cycles you may have been going through, okay? Those are coming to an end. I am feeling this is where the victory is coming in for you, or the sense of the feeling of victory is coming in for you, Leo, because I feel like you really have been able to overcome quite a bit or quite a few of your ancestral setbacks. I just heard ancestral challenges, okay? Things that have run in your family. You don't have to really get too woo-woo with this. It could just be as simple as strong alcoholism or something like that ran in your family, and you are finally the one to put a stop to it. So in essence, you stop drinking, okay? You stop partying, you start dealing with the pain and the trauma that causes this sort of escapism in alcoholism and drug use and stuff like that, dealing with those wounds, going to therapy, doing the work to heal your inner child, to heal yourself, to heal these wounds. You've been doing all this stuff. And for a lot of you, this is resonating as ancestral karma. So if dragonflies stand out for you, you may be seeing dragonflies a lot, but that's where this ancestral energy is coming from. There is an energy here of feeling like you're coming out of the fog too. That could be about the fog of this energy that you were in, this ancestral karmic pattern or this low vibrational pattern. Okay, you're coming out of the fog here. I also got a level of spell work. Some of you may be or may have been questioning if somebody was doing some sort of spell work on you, or you were under some sort of curse or something like that. And the biggest transformation, and again, this is why this is a mental transformation, I'm feeling like, for you, Leo, which is that dragonfly association, because you could look at your situation as, or your misfortune as, somebody has put a curse on you, or put a curse on your family, put a curse on your lineage or something like that. And or you just have some sort of hater out here, you have some sort of hater out here putting the evil eye on you, trying to get into your energy, trying to sabotage your work, trying to this, that, and third, throwing spell work on you. You could think of it that way. Or you could look at it as, well, one step in the right direction is looking at it as, if somebody's going to throw energy at you, instead of thinking about it as they're throwing at me to sabotage me, throw it at you, they're throwing it at you, and that's free energy. That's energy for you to take for yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do it this way, or I'm going to do something with this, or I'm going to take this energy. Thanks for the free energy. Okay. Woo. Thanks for the free energy. All right. And so there's a level of alchemical transmutation that is coming online for you. So you may be stepping into some sort of spiritual mindset, some sort of spiritual timeline, some sort of spiritual pathway, learning some sort of spiritual things. You may be getting into manifestation. You may be learning about, like, watching a lot of manifestation videos, become very interested in the law of attraction. Maybe that may be something that's coming online for you here. I have been channeling for some time, for actually since November, all of November. I've been channeling that there is a large influx of people that are coming online in terms of spirituality. They're like stepping onto a spiritual timeline now, whereas they may have never been there on something like that before. So this might be part of it. Somebody here is mentally starting to open their mind to how we really do create our own realities, and starting to learn how to create your own reality. And thus now you're interested in the topics of alchemical transmutation, or of transmuting energies, being an alchemist, law of attraction, creating your reality, attracting your reality. You may be very open to this stuff right now. Now, moving forward for you, Leo, next thing that I was channeling is that you, especially in terms of some sort of ancestral stuff that's going on here for you, Leo, there is an energy of you leading by example for people, okay? And especially for some of you, or for most of you really, especially if you're dealing with heavy karmic or ancestral type of energies, you are leading by example for your family, for your lineage. Like, you are literally the living manifest of this energy, showing them what to do and how to heal their own selves and their own piece of the family puzzle, okay? You understand that you were never meant to heal the whole family or the whole bloodline. What you were meant to do was initiate the wave of healing throughout, okay? So that's why your focus here, Leo, is to just focus on the healing of yourself. The more you heal yourself, and the more you lead by example through this healing of yourself, Leo, the more you help your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, the world heal themselves, okay? So keep that in mind. That's a big energy for you in this time period. Something that you may be really focused on, something that you may be really thinking about during this week, or whenever this is resonating for you, Leo, is leading by example. I feel like, and I did channel this later on, I do feel like there's a strong sense of greater responsibility coming online for you, Leo, in terms of, especially with your expanding, especially with your expanding and evolving mind, and how your mind is opening up to these more spiritual topics, or these, you might be getting into the study of neuroscience and how that fuses with spirituality, okay? So yeah, leading by example is coming through. Oh, and I also, with that leading by example, I channeled, with great power comes great responsibility, right? It is giving that kind of energy, Leo, right now, not gonna lie. So, okay, there you go, there's that. Moving forward, okay, so I did mention Did I mention that we have Saturn and Mercury direct? I should have led with that. I'm not sure if I remember now. I don't remember now. But we do have Saturn. Oh, I did mention this. We do have Saturn and Mercury direct now, which is great. And with that for you, Leo, I remember now, I was saying that you may have gone through a really difficult moment. You may have really been tested, or felt like you've been really tested, or felt like you've been held back, kind of like slingshot type energy that goes going on for you. But now that Saturn and Mercury are direct, I feel like you are like taking off or moving forward here. And it's in a new mindset. It's in a much more powerful mindset. That takes us back to the song that came through for you in the start of this situation here, Living My Best Life by Jessie J. It's a new song. Well, fairly new. She released it a few months ago, but she just released her full new album. I'm recording this on November 30th. So she, as of this recording, she just released a whole new album. Oh geez, hold on. There we go. She's just released a whole new album. So it's a fairly new song, Living My Best Life by Jessie J. But there is a strong level of greater confidence coming online for you, greater self-respect, greater self-wisdom, greater self-knowledge. You have a stronger sense of connection with your inner child. You may have gone through some serious inner child healing of late, and that's really put you in a really excellent spot. But with all of this brand new change, a brand new you, even, I'm feeling, Leo, your mantras and affirmations are going to be so important for you during this time, while you are getting this new mindset and this new feeling and this new vibrational reality to really set in. I'm seeing Four of Pentacles energy now, like really forming that foundation for yourself that's solid. You're good. You don't have to worry about this level ever again, because it is solidly placed. It is a great foundation that now the rest of your structure can build on, because I feel like this is a brand new start for you. This is a whole new chapter for you, Leo. Okay, so you really want to, right now in this moment, whenever this is resonating for you, really focus on developing the right mantras, okay, and making sure that you practice them, because those are going to be so pivotal in continuing to build this foundation, so that you can just keep this energy, this vibration on autopilot. Okay, but this is awesome. This is awesome. Now, I was saying there was a sense of personal liberation happening for you, Leo. Okay, and that I was feeling that coming through an opposition between the Sun and Uranus that is ending. I'm sorry. It ends on it's ending today, actually, November 30th. Okay, there's this opposition that between the Sun and Uranus that's been happening for the last few days, and that's ending today. And for some of you, this is where this personal sense of liberation is coming through. I feel like you've been going through a lot of deep challenges lately, Leo, and that's been really testing your soul. It's been really testing your resolve, your self-belief. It's put you through situations in which you ended up believing in yourself more, having a stronger confidence in yourself, having a stronger connection with yourself, more love and gratitude for yourself and where you find yourself, what you have in your life right now. And so with this opposition between Uranus and the Sun ending, I feel like all the tests are dissipating, and you're able to revel in the fact that you have passed, okay? You are free. I was channeling that you're finding the will and or the reason, and I put reason in capital letters, to just keep being yourself, Leo, okay? And that feels so important, because it's like, yeah, we're Leos. We know how to really put on the show, especially when we don't want anybody to know that there's anything wrong, okay? But also that's kind of to a fault, it's to a fault, because you may be putting on a show, but your heart may not be in it. And so you were wanting to be yourself, but you couldn't find anything to really put your heart behind, or your heart was never really never really nothing ever really vibed with you that you tried, so you just kind of like put on a mask and just played along until something came in that lit up your heart, and that is lighting up your heart, and thus it's giving now excuse me, and thus it's now giving you the reason to keep being yourself. Okay, something has lit you up, Leo. And also, I was channeling freedom. I put that in capital letters, exclamation point, and a new understanding of what freedom truly is. Let me say that again. Another thing that's coming through for you right now, Leo, is a level of freedom. Okay, freedom in capital letters. But and that freedom is coming through this liberation energy, how you're feeling liberated at this time. But also, there is a deeper understanding of what freedom truly is and what it really truly means to be free. If that resonates with you, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, and I'm not saying that I know what it is and it's one specific thing. No, this is going to mean something different for everybody. But the fact of the core of it is that we are finding a level of freedom, but we're also discovering a level of understanding of what freedom truly means and what it truly means to be free. And that understanding right there only makes you freer. It like exponentially shoots up the level of freedom that you're realizing for yourself, Leo. This again is another place that we're feeling this sense of oh shoot. Well, but this is another place where, you know, this sense of responsibility is coming into play for you also, or an understanding of greater responsibility because you have greater mental capacity now, okay? Now, next thing that I channeled for you, and we're getting towards the end of the channeled message, and then we'll get into the cards for you for this week. But next thing that I channeled for you was be on the lookout for gifts from nature, okay? These are gifts of abundance, or they're considered to be gifts of abundance, to convey a message of abundance. Okay, you know, I'll share this. I had a moment today while I was in my little garden area and just vibing with things and getting connected with your energy before I sat down for this live here. And I passed one of my trees in my yard and I brushed up against it, and one of the leaves just naturally broke right off. Okay, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm so sorry, tree." But when it didn't fall to the ground, I actually was able to catch it. And when I caught it, I caught the feeling of the tree saying, "Here, no, have it." And it was like sharing its abundance with me. That's the feeling that I got with it. So be on the lookout for gifts like that. Some of you are very nature inclined. You could be a green thumb like I am. So you could, but I feel like there's a very strong connection for somebody here in nature at this time, or with nature at this time. And this might, I don't think this, well, this might be something new, but it also may be something that has been growing, or it's something that you've always been connected. You've always been a naturopath or really connected with nature. Pay attention to your connection with nature at this time, as it will be giving you gifts of abundance. And these gifts of abundance are to show you, to remind you that you are abundant, how abundant you are, how loved you are, how nurtured you are, how cared for you are, okay? Abundance is being shared with you. It's also be a reminder to share your abundance with others. And then with that comes a message surrounding cultivating a mindset of benefit through abundance. So there is a question in that saying, how does my abundance benefit the ecosystem? Okay. So getting somebody here is starting to think in those terms, like you're starting to recognize and realize your abundance, the abundance that's flowing to you, and you're starting to say to yourself, well, what can I do with this abundance to benefit others, to keep the abundance flowing? Okay, that may be something that you're thinking about this week, something that you may want to consider this week. That also could be the message behind these gifts from nature that could be coming forward for you. And then last with this part here, there's something about a sacred plant. a sacred money plant. With that comes the Chinese money plant. I don't know the actual genus name, but if you look up the Chinese money plant, that was also connected to this message here, because the Chinese money plant has little leaves that look like discs. Okay, it's also called a UFO plant, and it's also called a friendship plant. And so the discs are meant to symbolize like money or abundance. And when this leaf broke off of my tree, that's the first thing I thought of, was the gift, was the disc-like money plant and the abundance that was symbolized by it, and the specifically the plant sharing it with me. Okay, it's nature is trying to get you into a greater, stronger resonance with the vibration of abundance. Okay, and so that's also where this sacred plant energy comes in. Somebody here may want to get a sacred plant, maybe this Chinese money tree, UFO plant, or I'm sorry, Chinese money plant. There is a money tree, but I'm talking about the Chinese money plant, the UFO plant, the friendship plant. Get something like that, or get something that symbolizes abundance to you. There's something about having a sacred plant, and this is a tool to use to get into a vibration or get into a stronger attunement with the vibration of abundance through the plant or organic realms. Okay, that was a pretty strong message that I got for you, Leo.